History of Bugatti. The story of Bugatti is not that of a company that had to face countless financial problems, nor that of a company that spread all over the world by establishing sales venues or building plants across the Atlantic. The story of Bugatti is the tale of a rebellious visionary, of a young genius who could trace his origins back to a row of artists and artisans. Born in Milano, Italy, 1881, Ettore was the son of Carlo Bugatti, who not only worked as a painter, but also as a silversmith, sculptor, and woodcarver. Still in his adolescence, Ettore was sent to study sculpture at the Brera Art Academy, but quite soon after that he discovered his passion for automobiles. Following his decision of becoming an engineer at the age of only 17, young Ettore started working, and in only 1 year, he had designed and built a three-wheeled vehicle powered by 2 engines. Despite its small size, Ettore's prototype almost wiped clean the prizes thrown in at the local races, having won an amazing 8 out of 10 events. Fueled by his tricycle success, an enthusiast Ettore entered his baby in the Paris to Bordeaux. The buggy came in third. Ecstatic with the result, Ettore returned to Milano determined to continue building cars. By the age of 19, Ettore Bugatti had just completed building his first real car. Deeming the overall technological development at the time it was the beginning of the 1900s, his automobile seemed almost futuristic. The auto featured a 4-speed gearbox, a 4-cylinder overhead valve engine, and a variety of engineering improvements that only a gifted builder could have come up with. From that point on, his dream took off and evolved into a very profitable business, with lots of orders coming in. Soon enough, Ettore would raise enough money to buy his own establishment. In 1909, receiving financial support from banker de Vizcaya, he purchased a large property in Molsheim on the German territory of Alsace. Soon after his newly acquired factory, Ettore decided to go a step further and built a small, lightweight racing machine to compete in the Le Mans race. Although it looked like a 4-wheeled dwarf as compared to its giant competitors' cars such as a Fiat, de Dietrich and others, the little but swift and powerful automobile came in second, proving that Ettore was a more talented car designer as compared to many of the older engineers at the time. The year was 1911. 3 years later, the war came and Ettore, much like the majority of car builders, had to redistribute his attention to the much-needed aircraft engines. As soon as the war was over, Ettore resumed his work and soon became a baron. In 1922, Bugatti introduced a revolutionary car shaped like a cigar, Type 29/30, which featured hydraulic brakes and the manufacturer's first 8-cylinder engine. Dubbed the cigar, the car made its debut at the AFC Grand Prix in 1922 and took second place. 1 year later, Bugatti introduced the Type 32. The Type 32 was dubbed the Tank and boasted a redeveloped version of the previous 8-cylinder engine. In 1924, Bugatti entered the Type 35 in the French Grand Prix held in Lyon. While the car's design turned to its time's traditional open wheels design, the Type 35 retained the previous 8-cylinder engine and steadily became the car to beat for the next decade. Ettore Bugatti finally realized his dream of creating the most automobile of all time in 1926 when he introduced the Type 41 Royale. This was actually the most expensive car to build, with a relative price that still surpasses anything produced since. However, with the Great Depression just around the corner, the Type 41 Royale also proved to be one of Bugatti's greatest financial threats. Sales of the Royale reached only 3 units. In 1931, the global economic crisis reached French shores, and Bugatti received a great financial help in the form of a government contract to build a high-speed train. And that is how the Autorail was born, a train using the huge engine from a Type 41 Royale, which held the world speed record for railed vehicles with combustion engines. Bugatti's last great victory in motorsport happened in 1939, when at his son's request, the company prepared a supercharged Type 57 which won at Le Mans, driven by Pierre Wimille and Pierre Véron. Unfortunately, that very same year on August 11th, his only son Jean died in a testing run of the same Type 57 car. Only a few days later, World War II broke out. After the war, several attempts to revive production were made, but to no distinctive result. In 1947, on August 21st, Ettore Bugatti died at age 66 of pneumonia in a military hospital in Paris. After that, the brand's heritage continued in the form of several unfruitful partnerships. The aircraft company Hispano-Suiza bought Bugatti in 1963, and in 1987 entrepreneur Romano Artioli purchased the rights to the Bugatti name and built a new factory in Campo Galliano, Italy, to manufacture a new supercar. In 1991, Bugatti unveiled the EB110 supercar in Paris, celebrating the 110th anniversary of Bugatti Ettore's birth. In autumn 1995, Bugatti Automobili S.P. files for bankruptcy, and 3 years later German car maker Volkswagen takes over the company in an effort to revive the sports luxury brand. During the 2001 Frankfurt Motor Show, Bugatti unveils the EB16.4 Veyron model, with a 16-cylinder and 4-turbo engine. In September 2005, the production of the Veyron 16.4 begins. The car receives several media praises and establishes itself as the most expensive contemporary production car, while also holding the fastest production car title for 2 years, with a homologated top speed of 408.47 km per hour. Bugatti logo history. The Bugatti logo brings refined style to the hood of every high-performance model it adorns. Its red background symbolizes the power and passion drivers feel behind the wheel and serves as an eye-catching backdrop for the white Bugatti lettering, the black EB emblem, and the 60 red dots seated in the thin white border. 60 red dots adorn the narrow white outer edge of the Bugatti logo. Their meaning is speculated, with some believing the dots represent safety wires, which appeared like lace patterns on Bugatti models. Others believe the dots are pearls, symbolizing that Ettore Bugatti thought of his vehicles as fine jewels. The black EB emblem, of course, represents Ettore Bugatti as the founder of the company. What is the difference between Bugatti and other car brands? Unlike his competitors, Ettore Bugatti did not design and build his cars, he gave life to them. His ideas appeared in a host of projects that would later surpass some of the most popular cars on the racetracks of Europe.